So modern players are hitting the ball so far, and everyone is talking about using the floor to create the power. How do you do it and what can you do? What is ground force reaction and how does this apply to clubhead speed? Let's take a look at this and see how you can apply it to your game. Firstly guys, if you are new to the channel, welcome. What we're aiming to do is to help you improve your game on this channel. So if this is what you're after, is lowering your scores, please subscribe and hit that little bell icon. That way you get notifications, you don't miss any of the content coming forward. What I'd like you to do as well is, if you have enjoyed the videos, give it a thumbs up, and also comment below what videos would you like creating. Is there areas of the game you're struggling with, or is there contradictions you hear out there that you would like to be covered? And if you comment below, we'll endeavour to cover these in future videos. On to today's video, we are having a look at ground force reaction. What is ground force reaction? You know, it's not just a noughties TV show for you guys over in the UK. It's about your golf swing and creating more power from the floor. So what is it? We see these modern guys. We can look at new guy on the block, Matt Wolf, tearing up the floor in terms of, you can see where he's been hitting balls because the grass has been used so much in terms of the way that his feet are working against the floor. You look at a JJ Rivet over with Under Armour. He's probably 20 years ahead of the game with the science of this and the footwear and the design going into the shoes. You look at Brooks Koepka, who's hammering the gym. He's a big guy, he uses the floor, the power. We look at DJ. We've got lots of players out here and they are using the floor to create the power, and it's also going on to what gym programs are doing to get that force, and that's why people are now using lots of box jumping, lots of power, and all of this is related to clubhead speed. What is it? Well, to start off with, we've got three directions of force. So what we've got, first of all, we've got horizontal force, which is across. We've got rotational force, which is going to be the torque. Okay, and then you have got vertical, which is going down. Now, if you think about this in terms of law, Newton's law of sort of physics, motion, etc., we know that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So the more I can push down, the more it should start to push back up into my body. So let's have a look at what these three movement patterns are and how they actually fit into the move. And then let's have a look at how these modern guys are applying this power. One of the guys we're going to pay attention to is going to be Justin Thomas when we have a look at it with driver shortly, because pound for pound there is no one that hits the ball further than JT. So we're going to have a look at how these all fit together. I'm going to look at the horizontal first of all. So when we're having a look at the horizontal, that is traditionally the lateral shift across. Now obviously we saw a lot of players slide their hips, but what we're seeing now with the ground force reaction is that once that knee starts down, the left knee goes first, okay, the hips still move across. So we see the center of the belt buckle is moving across, and it goes laterally across in the downswing as much as 3 inches. So you've got to get that weight across because you've got to be over that left side for impact, because we know that we want maximum pressure force on that left leg through the ball. It's going to give us clubhead speed. So we're going to make sure that knee goes out and the pelvis is allowed to move across, but we're going to make sure we're not off that right leg too soon. Push off the right leg really early, you've got lots of lateral, but you're not going to have any force vertically. So if you get off that right side early, that's really going to hurt the vertical. So onto that vertical, what we're talking about here is most players lose a little bit of height on the way down. And what we'd see is once they get to the top here, once that left knee transitions, we can see that the backside stays behind them, is pushing down into those glutes, and the thighs have got the pressure. So this isn't down in the floor. So both thighs are equal. If I try and go down but I've slid too far, there's nothing in this leg. I can almost feel it's weightless. So the key is, don't let the right knee move too soon. You create a little bit of space right here. I'm not talking about this, but a little bit of gap in here. Therefore, we can then start to push back up from the floor later on. Now, when we push back up from the floor, we're looking at the rotational segment. Now the rotation will actually come from part of the vertical. What do I mean by that? What this is about is, we've got that bit of lateral, we've got that vertical working beautifully together. So we've got the horizontal and the vertical working together. Pelvis has gone across, I'm down in the floor, but I'm over that, I'm starting to move over that left leg. Now, as that left leg begins to straighten, the ankle bone is rotating, the torso and the hips are rotating, and as that leg is pushing back from the floor, here, that is opening the body. So this is where the rotation starts to fit in. So the sequence always needs to start from that left knee starting down first, because we know the downswing in all the great players from kinematic sequencing starts from the ground up, and it's got to be that left leg. So people feel it in the left ankle, but I see a lot of players feeling it in the left knee. The left knee starts down, creates this, and the left leg can straighten, the hip can open, and as it's pushing, we get into this posted up finish in the left heel, and that's where we are creating all that rotation to the end of the follow through, but it's all about what we can create in the floor. Let's give it a go with the 7-9, see what's happening. So I'm going to just get that feeling of trying to load down and then really feel the opening and the push back up. So I'm going to load the body, get back in the backswing and really push down and up and out the body. Left knee is the key to start that downswing. So I really felt there, that left knee move. There's a little bit of lowering there. I felt I could have been more vertical, but I really felt the push back up and out the floor. Pretty solid strike there. But what do we see with the drivers? I covered JT before with a driver. What is it that he's doing that's different? Or what is it that players are doing? They are almost jumping out the floor with driver, because what they're doing is once they've pushed in so aggressively, as they push that left leg straightening, which is almost pushing the body backwards, which is why hitting up on the ball is a key element to get as much power as you can, because it obviously opts out what we know on launch monitors to get the best spin rates. But being able to get that power is once you're in and it pushes the body back, and that's how we create the launch and create that power. That's why you'll often see with a driver the left heel almost pushing off the floor, and then what it's doing is from there it creates that launch in the body, and then obviously it jumps and then they come through to the follow through. So it's because of the force that they've put down through the floor followed by a rotation that it is pushing the body back. Let's see what can happen. Let's see if this is a real bit of a rip with driver and see if we can create more vertical force down to really accelerate this into some club head speed. So give this a little feel here. So to the top. So it feels like really pushing back up and out of the floor. So really exaggerate feeling. I like to kind of feel the tension in the legs here when you're going to be doing this. So I big style felt going in the floor, and then it really felt the acceleration back up and out the body. Something you want to try and do. If you can get this going with the driver, you're going to get more club head speed. This is why these modern guys are hitting the ball so far and making some of the traditional golf courses almost obsolete. This is worth exploring. It is what everyone's doing. It's why force plates are becoming much more commonplace. People are getting on them because this is where the power's coming from. Have a look at this transition sequence, how you're going to use the body and how you can sequence it for you. Remember, horizontal, vertical, rotation, which one of those is it that's going to give you the most amount of power? Explore it and see which one you can find out to help you get more club head speed, more power, hopefully increase your enjoyment at the same time. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll speak with you again very soon.